We are on a mission.
A mission to save and revitalize independent pharmacy.
On the Catalyst Pharmacy podcast,
You will get actionable business advice
hear stories from industry leaders,
and share a laugh with us.
fuel your passion for pharmacy.
One conversation at a time.
How did your parents name you Jackson? Were they Jackson 5 fans?
It's actually pretty funny you bring it up. So Jackson is my mother's maiden name.
Okay.
I always just tell people that my parents decided they wanted me to embarrass both sides of the family.
Interesting.
I love that.
I like your attitude.
Because
I like
I thought about
humility.
doing that with my son, giving him my maiden name.
Which that he would have. Oh, well, that they're easy though, because you have your middle name, your first name, your last name, your maiden name.
My
Yeah,
maiden name.
yeah, because that's Scott. That would have been Scott's a first name that happened to be a last name.
Yes.
Jackson is a last name.
And so is Cohen.
That would be a first name. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Jackson Justus. I just love it. I'm going to say that multiple times to the podcast just because it sounds cool. Saying it outside, Jackson Justus.
He's going to start a musical over here. That's his thing. So you've only been in the you were in the state.
I kind of wish I'd been a lawyer because the name just sounds better as a lawyer.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
true.
For the whole marketing
that would have been
yeah.
Right.
1399 Justus, right? With a U. It's just perfect.
Yeah, and it's just us.
Just us. Nice.
Okay.
How did you get to Iowa? Because people are telling me about Iowa. You didn't start out there.
So
You don't sound like you're from Iowa there, Jackson.
I originally came from Appalachia, so it's Eastern Kentucky, Southwest Virginia.
Okay.
The tri-states run together right there at the toe of Virginia. I was working for one of the chains in Charlottesville, Virginia at the time, and that's kind of when the pandemic kicked off, and I was primarily giving flu shots, and the COVID testing was just about to start. And no polite way to say it, I despised going to work every day. So I started looking for other opportunities, and I was already 6 hours from home anyway. So at that point, everything was fair game, and I was just looking all over the country. My morning routine was coffee, get on Indeed, look for some independents, see what we got.
Yep.
And I just happened to stumble into this job with this crew, wound up in Iowa.
Yeah, I keep saying that there needs to be a better way to connect pharmacists to opportunities like that and not make it such a rabbit hole on Google.
I thought it was going to be spam, to be honest.
Really?
This job ad shows up. It's like ownership opportunity, like we want young.
So was that like a blast out, or did they actually they called your name? They saw Jackson Justus. They're like, I'm going to have him run a pharmacy because he sounds like a superhero, right?
I like his
Justus.
name. He sounds
Jackson
smart.
Justus. I know.
Yeah,
we
I
have to think
told you
about.
he's going to turn your name into a musical.
No, it's not a musical. It's going to be like a superhero show. He needs like we got to. I'm already thinking about what's his costume. He's got to have. Yeah, it's the white coat. Okay, sorry. I'm all over the place today. I think it's fun. Okay, so you got this like spam email and fill-in, and it said, "Hey, we're looking for."
Sorry, it wasn't a spam email. When I looked at the ad, I thought I was going to start getting spam.
You
If
thought you
I
were
applied
getting like
to
a
it.
Craigslist.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it was well made, but I was like, opportunities like this don't really exist anymore.
This can't be this
So,
easy.
It's probably too good to be true. I'm just going to start getting a bunch of spam, but was it going to hurt? So took a shot at it.
Is there a place? So let's say there are other young pharmacists like you who think
I'm done with
they're
the chain
miserable with the whole
life,
chain thing.
and I want to start my own adventure like you did. I mean,
Is there a place where people are looking for that? Is there like a place that puts those people together, people who are trying to open pharmacies with partnering with people?
So there are the franchises, your Good Neighbor and stuff, help you get one started.
Right.
I'm with Total Dose franchise, which is a little different at the moment, and it's pretty new too. So right now it's just a group of pharmacists and a couple of technicians, and they're buying independents and trying to. Don't want them to sell out to the chains. Want to take them and try to rejuvenate them.
Yep.
So looking for the ones that have your your older philosophies, the feel and build model, and then we're trying to inject the medicines and the vaccines and the point of care testing, all those new services, and turn that pharmacy around to the point. Right now, the way to get into that is primarily through a residency program with them, based out of Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. That'd probably be the easiest path or avenue into where we're
just right out of school. So,
right, my trip was a little different because they had this opportunity about this store and they needed someone. And if you ask them, they'll tell you some flattering story about interviewing and being the best candidate. But I'll tell you the truth, there was a limited number of people at the time.
I'm loving his humility. He's really a rock star in there, right? And he just, I like this upfront attitude of kind of like, yeah, okay. All right.
But
so
that's like the beginning of a great underdog story. It's like, I feel amazing about it. And yeah, so.
All right. So Iowa, here we come. Good thing we like beef, right? And so we're headed to Iowa. Tell us about the first couple of months and stuff in the new store.
Oh boy. So I always joke that I'm cursed. I tell that to people when I go places. It's like I'm cursed to play every game on the highest difficulty. So day one, the power goes out. I'm just looking around at these people I didn't really know, at my staff. Now I'm just like, I told you. Here we go. A few days later, I kid you not, like the phone lines get cut.
Oh no! I feel like I'm sitting here in an episode of Hee Haw. We're about to go. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Woo. Deep, dark depression.
You're aging yourself. Calm it down.
Sorry. I was watching it on reruns. I was really little. All right, so.
Stop interrupting and singing. Let him talk.
I'm sorry. All right, so who cut the lines? Is that they were digging for something, or?
I don't know that it was cut. The phones just quit working for the day. They had been working on the power in the alleyway, kind of where our drive-through is. Phones were the same. They ended up burying those. It was a citywide project, but in that process, they managed to knock the phones out within the first couple of weeks of my starting after the power going out. There's actually a pretty long list of things like that. I call it our own version of a series of unfortunate events.
This is a dark cloud. It's cloudy there.
No. He got haze. That's what was happening.
That is true. So is this the existing staff with you, or did they bring in new staff when they bought this store?
Kept everybody.
So okay, how did they embrace you? Were they like they adopt you, or you like go back? Were they like go back to Kentucky? What was?
You brought this dark cloud with you. Go home.
Yeah, what did you do? Yeah.
A large portion of everything that's happened thus far is due to their flexibility. Like I say it all the time, they're really good sports.
Okay.
You know, when I get to go in, I can try anything new under the sun. We can try and fail. They just kind of roll with it, and that gives us. I credit them for that. That gives us the room to do these new things and try these new things and improve.
So when we struggle, when things are hard, I'll say, "Hey, you guys are good sports."
I can go on for a while just how important that has been for the changes that we've brought in. Because when I first got here, I was always my only concern was like, oh my God, I don't know the software, I don't know the staff, I don't know like state Medicaid. There's so much I don't know. What didn't stop per se to think like, oh, these guys just got a new boss. I bet they're freaking out on the other end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. From Kentucky. Did you bring them bourbon? Did you bring bourbon with you?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite bourbon?
Yeah, it's dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap bourbon.
We drank Evan Williams all through college, and it's just kind of a nostalgic go-to.
That's what's stuck.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Because I finally got to go to Kentucky for the first time in April. I was there working on my CTSM certification, and it's like, okay, I've never been to Louisville. We did a tour of Angel's Envy and learned, like, I didn't know this, but it was kind of an interesting trick that he taught me, that if you're trying, so with wine, you take a sip and then they say your first sip is to cleanse your palate. And then the second sip is where you actually get to taste the florals and the grape and the fruit and all that.
And the next 40 sips is what changes your attitude.
Makes you even happier. But with bourbon, he said, take a sip, hold it in your mouth for 10 seconds. I was like, this is going to burn. And then you swallow it, and then it's like, okay, now drinking bourbon doesn't burn, and you're actually tasting more of the flavors.
So all your taste buds are temporarily destroyed,
and
so you don't taste the pure alcohol.
Yeah, then you...
It was interesting.
It was interesting because then you did actually pick up some flavors that you normally pick up in like your first sip of wine.
Right, because you're not tasting the alcohol flavor.
It's not burning your
I guess that's
mouth
interesting.
anymore.
So when you think about it, you know, like these people who work at rendering plants and things like that, your body learns to something that's really strong, it stops smelling, right? So you work in a rendering plant, you know, you're there now, you know, you learn to not smell that putrid smell because your brain needs to be able to find the new stuff, not the existing stuff. So that might make sense. It kind of kills the alcohol piece of that enables you.
I wonder if that works with other alcohols, though.
You don't know.
Because, I mean, like, vodka has so many flavors. Like,
I see an experiment in our future.
I think so. I'm kind of interested now.
All
Let's try vodka.
So you didn't bring bourbon. Did we bring gifts? Did you? How did you win them over? How did you just?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It was the Southern Charm.
It was the Southern Charm.
Southern Charm every time. Yeah, because Travis Wolf teaches a class. He teaches a class. I think he's teaching it this year at Connect, which is talking about culture and creating that culture and keeping it and finding the good ones and helping them along. But so I mean, what if you had to look back and reflect, what would you say is one of the things that you did to kind of help that culture stay together and invite you in?
So I have a pretty stern workplace environment philosophy.
Okay.
As in, by stern, I mean I'm going to have a good day at work.
Okay.
Now, when I interview people, I tell them, I'm like, I'm going to have a good day at work. I've worked jobs that I was miserable. That comes home with me, and I'm miserable at home too. So I focus on bringing together teams that work well together, but where we laugh more than we have any downtimes.
Nice.
I love that mentality.
That's number 2 from today. I love that. That's great. I'm going to have a good day today.
Yeah.
So we try to focus on that, and like I interview people, and I don't do the basic. Did you memorize this interview question? What answer did you recite before you came in today? I usually throw people off and ask them what their favorite cheese is. Mm-hmm. And a couple of just off the wall questions, and then I just talk to them.
Yeah,
I'm looking for people, not robots.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's very American very capitalism to invest for tomorrow. You know, I'm going to work hard in school so I can get this. I'm going to work hard now so I can get this. I'm work hard now. I mean, this. But the interesting thing about, you know, like my wife's parents are like 85 and they're in assisted living and you know, it has you thinking about life. And the only way to have a happy life is to be happy today. If you're going to be happy tomorrow, you're never going to be happy, right? Because it's always tomorrow. So I love that you're saying, hey, I'm going to have a good day today. Because if you have a good day today, it's all good.
Yeah, and they'll likely come back tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I like that. Ask them a
random
question.
Everybody, I'm ordering you to have a good day today. No,
I also tell people, I was like, this is a hypocrisy. I'm going to be a hypocrite. So do as I say, not as I do thing. But in return, I will buy your affection with treats and coffee, etc. over the course of time.
Cheese.
Nice.
Just roll with it, and you know there'll be some perks come back your way.
Huh. Yeah.
So I interview people. I talk to them like people. I give them a honest and depiction of what it's going to be like and kind of how things are, the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people tell me my interview strategies. They don't agree with them because I do bring up some of the downsides of working in that job. But
yeah,
you know, I want the right people. I want ones that are going to stay. So I give them a full picture of it. I tell them exactly. I give them a dose of what it's like to be with me for 15 minutes because my staff does not get paid enough to put up with me all day.
I got you.
Well, I mean, we're already like 20 minutes in, and I'm enjoying the conversation, so I can't imagine you're that horrible to work for.
There's the off-limit topics that are not allowed on podcasts.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get my soapbox out and talk about insurance and whatnot if you really want me to. But
I think a lot of pharmacists.
Yeah, and that's true. You could see a lot of pharmacies could get trapped in talking all day about the things that are bad rather than talking about the things that are good. And there's a lot of good things happening.
There's sometimes that pharmacists get trapped in that, and then I think they go down a rabbit hole that just kind of ruins them on pharmacy. Because I mean, I've seen a couple, and it's like you find your positive. This isn't the end of the world. This is one bad example of something that you just got to triumph through. So,
and I'm bad to do that. So I'm probably the most negative on the team, which is something that, that puts a lot of pressure on me because they'll come down as far as I go in a day.
Gotcha.
So that's why I have to look for these ways to stay positive and happy. That's why every Thursday is chicken salad day.
Chicken salad day.
Okay.
Thursday, okay.
Is that you bringing it in from a local business or?
It's just chicken salad day.
We just did it 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then I just started turning it into a theme by saying it's chicken salad day. Once you do it one week, the next week it's chicken salad payday.
Yeah.
And once you get paid on that day, then it just turned into a thing. And now every Thursday we go to the same place, and we don't always get chicken salad now, but we still eat at the same place. And
but y'all are calling the restaurant
chicken
salad.
It's a little ritual for the staff to do together.
Okay.
So you hear, so bringing the staff around, kind of a very disarming, kind of a humble personality, a very kind of setting expectations low, so kind of really, hey, here's the good and here's the bad. So that, making people happy is where what happens to them is better than what they expected, right? So setting a low bar, that's great. And looks like he does a lot of kind of treats and things and going out to lunch and stuff like that. So you got some methods that brought the staff together. Now what do we start doing on the pharmacy? So the pharmacy was filling billing. Where did you start from there?
First thing we really did was vaccines. We got those in. It was right during COVID. So we didn't get in on
pandemic. Yep.
That's so probably all you focused on for a while.
With CPSN to get some vaccines. Local public health agency was doing a good job of getting some of those out to our pharmacies in our community as well. So they brought some down for us, and it was a little bumpy at the beginning because it was a new system for me, new way to build things. I'd done vaccines inside of a store before, but I'd never had to do the billing on the back end.
Yep.
So a lot of new things to take on, especially with how the COVID was working in the public health emergency. And it just for the beginning, it was just me to give them. We had to backtrack and do some CEs and stuff just to make the state and the board happy for the rest of the staff. I had an RN at that time who was also able to do some.
Nice. That's smart.
Unfortunately, the COVID money got her away from me and back into nursing.
So, okay, I'm kind of curious because once you got the COVID vaccine, it's like you had so much time to execute these vaccines or you lost them. So what kind of tips and tricks did you kind of pull out of your sleeve to execute all the vaccines within the timely manner that was required?
Yeah, getting the people in.
We put up some ads. We eventually ended up getting people from about 2 hours away coming to get vaccines at the store. That was early on when they were scarce.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, we were rural. We had some of the, the next biggest city over. Some of their people were coming down to get vaccines at that time. So we had to schedule people every 30 minutes or something. I had to borrow some chairs from down the street to put in the lobby just to have extra room. So pretty packed in the beginning, but as time went on and more people got to distributing the vaccines, it kind of mellowed out. And now it's just not a random, but it's just a regular office visit.
Okay.
Are we doing so now that we've kind of come out of the pandemic? Are we starting to do other types of vaccines and really really pushing that along?
We offered all those from the beginning.
Okay.
So I came from a chain where I was doing, my primary role was to give vaccines at the time. So I was pretty familiar with that process. So that was a pretty easy implementation for us.
So are we doing a lot? We're doing a lot of shingles vaccines and
quite a few shingles vaccines. Mainly were shingles, COVID, flu, a couple pneumonia on occasion. I haven't seen a ton since they changed it. I think most people were doing that in the doctor's office right now. And then other than that, not the other ones because they come in the packs of 10 and it just puts a strain on you.
Yeah. Do you think the RSV is going to be done in the doctor's office or do you think that's going to be in pharmacy?
Not sure yet.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm not too up to date on that one at the moment.
Right.
Okay, so we've come out of the pandemic.
We're out of vaccines. What's next?
We're out of vaccine. Vaccines are still a thing and going to continue to be a thing. So what other new things would you say you've begun to tackle in the pharmacy or onboard or start? Processes, procedures?
You might as well flip the table. over and start from scratch. We basically stripped it down and started from scratch.
Okay.
And again, right back to, commending my staff on how flexible they have been the whole time. They got new phones, new computers, new policies, a new handbook. They were doing new things, all this new stuff at one time, led by the guy who it was also very new to me on most of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And while it felt miserable at the time, I look back on it, I was like, oh God, that could have been much worse than it was.
Yeah.
But once we kind of got in the rhythm of doing the vaccines, and that's just a regular part of business now, we started, we've got point of care testing. We are part of a state program where we offer HIV and HCV testing for free for anyone that wants to come in. Our next biggest thing is probably the MedSync program that we got started up, though. I think we're closing in on 10% of our patients now.
I was about to ask. Very good.
I traditionally have only ever worked in a fill and bill pharmacy or given vaccines for the chain. So that's the only world I'd ever seen. And people were, I kept hearing, oh, MedSync will free you up to do this and that, free you up to do this and that. And I was skeptical. I was like, there's no way doing that it's going to make it easier than what I can sling together here on the counter. Like, I've been doing this for years. But we gave in, we started working on it, and I got one gal who is, that's her niche. Like, she's very detailed, she's very organized. That is the thing that just works in her favor the best, and she's done really well with it. And I see the downtime now.
Yep.
So now we take that downtime and we team huddle, talk about a project, and we break to do things. We got store remodels going on. We're breaking down, analyzing our numbers, what we're doing. We're looking at the things we build. Are we building them right?
Yep. Still 10, to me, 10% is just the beginning of that. Do you have a goal for more like, I think goal should be maybe more around 30% or so?
Well, the goal for me should be 100%.
I like it. You've been talking to Amina. Yep.
In my perfect world, in theory, every patient is on a MedSync and 100% compliant.
Yep.
Obviously, that's not ever going to be possible, but
yeah, you certainly can get really. There are pharmacists today will tell you that you ask them what percent's on MedSync, they'll say everybody's on MedSync. So even if they're on one drug, they put them on a cycle where they follow up, especially with a $high drug. They put them on a time frame where they're following up with them.
So something that I'm curious about, and it's been something that I'm scratching the surface on, and I'm just, it's something that I've become super passionate about.
Let it out.
Is one, acronyms are horrible because not everybody speaks your language.
Like CTSM?
Yes, like not everyone knows what CTSM is, and I threw that out there. And yes, the CTSM is Certified Trade Show Marketer. Thank you for calling me out on that one.
You're welcome.
But the second one is that, we use a lot of our terminology, and it's like, okay, hang on, we're trying to push RX Local to patients. And I'm like, okay, so-and-so, you just wrote this blog. Go back and ask your grandmother what MedSync is, because you put everything in pharmacy terminology, and I doubt your grandmother's going to be able to read this and understand what is going on. So, how do you onboard a patient? What are some of the tricks and stuff that you're using and saying to the patient to kind of educate and enlighten them on these programs that you're offering?
We identify somebody we think benefits from it, and we just one-on-one talk to them, explain to them what we do, how we're doing it, what the objective of it is. And we explain to them, like, you're going to get some bottles or some packages that may have 2 or 3 in them, and don't freak out. That's by design. Because, we found that to be one of the biggest barriers is if you don't thoroughly get someone to understand that, then that could be one of the biggest throw-offs for them. And once they get skittish and scared of it, they don't want to continue on with it. So
it's like, when you take your cows to the sale barn, can you imagine if you took your cows one at a time to the sale barn?
You're not supposed to.
Right. You want to take all your cows, they'll freak out and die, right? So you don't want to die. Take all your cows to the sale barn at the same time. No. It's all Iowa cow thing, so sorry.
You're
isn't that the home of Gateway? Wasn't Gateway in Iowa the Gateway computers? Again, I'm dating myself.
You
all right,
are.
go ahead.
Sure.
So we talked to People 101, get them going on the MedSync. I like that, making sure we don't use acronyms and stuff. Yeah, we're dealing again. Both my wife's parents are in assisted living, and that's really important in that environment. Getting things up and doing adherence multi-dose packaging. Y'all doing any multi-dose packaging?
We do some blister packaging, not multi-dose, or depends on your definition of multi-dose at the time.
Well, multi-dose blister would be more than one drug in the blister.
Yeah, we're just doing the single blister packs at the moment.
Okay, so like a nursing home kind of still. So do we have plan to do? Do y'all have, are you handling any assisted living or anybody where they're trying to take their meds together?
We have been tossing around some ideas on that front. We don't service a ton of assisted living facilities. We have some group homes that get the blister packs at the moment. It's something I'm thinking about for them.
Okay.
We've also kicked around the idea of a central field for the blister packaging.
Oh, for your team.
And
multi-location. Okay. That's interesting.
So a lot of ideas at the moment. No sound plan on the next step forward.
Because CVS got out of that. So
yes, they did.
And I still think there's a market for kind of charging for that. I don't know.
Maybe. So, okay, you're the recipient of the 2022 Flip the Pharmacy Award. So what of your projects would you say
Flip that pharmacy
kind of got you recognition or acknowledgement or that you contribute to that achievement?
Is that one, did they move the bus?
Yes.
Wow.
I got you.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh.
That wasn't a bus. That was a truck. It was a moving truck.
No, I think sometimes it was move the truck. Whatever. Okay, so
something I would watch when I was a child and there was nothing else on TV.
Yep, me too.
See, who's dating who? All right. So you won the Flip the Pharmacy Award. What did you, if you had to name off, hey, these 4 or 5 things were the things that I did to flip my pharmacy?
We brought in the new services. We did. We were on the COVID vaccines. We had the COVID antivirals. We were participating in those services that people needed at the time. You're bringing in new services. You're looking at the future models of pharmacy. One of the things that my coach who nominated us for the award pointed out that she really liked is I started a metrics board in the back.
Okay.
Nice.
Most of my staff have a specific metric that they are responsible for, and we track it on month to months to see their, they get to see their impact, they see their progress, they know if it's not working, and it gives them something to gauge what they've been doing off of instead of us just trying to, like the old ways of doing inventory on the shelf, you walk around and eyeball it.
Mm-hmm.
So I solidified some things to numbers for my staff. And then, the thing she really points out is at the bottom, I include a column. It's wins, small wins. And it's just a free response, fill it in.
So give us some examples of some metrics.
We're still tracking basic scripts per day.
Okay.
But we started looking more at, how many people are using the RX Local app? What's our social media reach? What's our MedSeek percentage?
Are you using the RX Local social media calendar to assist?
I don't, but yes.
I don't, but we do.
You got a guy.
Yes, I got a guy. I got a gal.
Okay, nice.
That's cool. And you could feed that calendar to ChatGPT on the about of your pharmacy.
I thought you had moved on.
Chat.
You love ChatGPT? Yeah, so I can imagine putting in that, like our idea for the calendar today, throwing that in with the about section of your pharmacy and tell ChatGPT, this is the about section from our website or our pharmacy. This is the social media post about we want to post about today. Write us a custom post and see what it did. Be fun.
I've been playing with the AIs a lot in the last couple of weeks.
It's
pretty
amazing.
impressive what they can do.
What all have you done on AI? I love finding out who's discovered AI and playing with it, because the interesting is that Jeff and I went to a PMA conference, Product Marketing Alliance. Okay, they're getting rid of the acronym.
Nice job.
Now if I could just teach you to do the same thing.
What?
And so it was real surprising.
You can learn from his humbleness.
Ditto.
My staff's going to be so mad when they hear this and you say humble, because that is not how I actually work.
Oh, no. Okay.
So
I gloat all the time.
This is his normal Joe persona.
They're not going to be mad.
A superhero has, what do they call that? With superhero, what is his alter ego? Yeah, this is he's given us his Clark. This is his Clark Kent.
This is the
Clark Kent. Yeah, he's very humble. He needed to have the glasses on. Right. In the pharmacy, he's like, and Yep. All right. So, yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that was super interesting is that at the Product Marketing Alliance conference is that they threw out a survey question and showed it on the board. It was real remarkable that only 40% of marketers had even touched AI.
Yeah, this was, and congrats to you for being all over it.
In front of it. And so I'm just interested as, people play with it. Like Jeff gets bored and I'll get, like, he sent me a Happy Mother's Day that he did. That was an AI created image.
I thought it was lovely, actually.
It was
Sorry,
very
it wasn't lovely.
Sweet.
It was whimsical.
It was very whimsical.
Yeah, I just asked ChatGPT. I said, give me 10. Go ahead.
What kind of things have you played around with in AI?
Exactly what you two are talking about. So a big struggle for us, we've got a lady that does the RX Local post and schedules those out, but our social media, like marketing game is non-existent. I despise social media.
Okay.
It's pulling teeth to put my own stuff on there. And
well, it's where everything's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was being an obstacle for us. And then I don't remember how I got started on it. It's been just a few weeks. I think Microsoft Edge came out and then put the AI inside of their browser.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there all the time. And then I started using it for research or whatever. And I was Googling uses for AI and I found out that you could create art with it. I was like, can I apply this to my non-existent social media marketing? Because like the obstacle is we can't create the content.
Right.
So if a robot will create it for me, so be it. I was going to run with it for a while and see if anybody asked me how I was doing it. Because I wasn't telling my partners that I was using AIs for my social media right now.
Nice.
Gonna see how it just went.
And what did they say? They're like, oh.
Other at the moment, so if you want to go to our page and look, we started putting up these random jokes on a chalkboard once a week.
Okay.
The first one that went up, I had chatbot caption that.
Okay.
I mean, chatbot cracks me up with the cheesy dad jokes that it gives out.
Nice. I have a fan.
Oh, no.
It was a dad joke.
Oh, no.
So that, and then I started trying to use the Dolly version of it to generate art because I was wondering if I could create like infographics from descriptions.
Interesting.
Instead of having to like go in and create that in software manually, I was wondering if I could just describe what I needed to a robot, create me an infographic and paste that.
Well, and you can have ChatGPT do that. And you also got bard.google.com now. Bard's free. But ChatGPT, what I did for Mother's Day is I said, hey, give me 10 ideas for images that represent Mother's Day. Yep. And it gave me 10 ideas. And then I figured out which one I liked, which was a whimsical scene of a mother and child flying a kite. And so I just plugged that into, the best one I found is for stuff like that, is Bing's Image Creator, which is also free right now. And just plug that in, whimsical view. It gives me four options. You get so many free credits and then they rebuild themselves. But it was really good. So you can use AI to give you the ideas of what the images look like and then with the images. But things you should also be doing is thinking about what your keywords are. So, hey, write this post. Make sure you include these keywords. Make sure you include concepts about why people buy. You know, one of the things that you really want to do with your social media posts is you want to try to, and one thing you can do is really, really entertain, but you want to provide them value. You know, one of the things that we had was, you know, Happy Good Earth Day. You know, you see all these posts where everybody, now there's going to be, 40 million people on It's Pizza Day, and figuring out how you can transform that into something that educates people, right? So if it's Pizza Day, tell them some really cool history about pizza in Iowa or pizza in your town. The first person to open a pizza place in our town was so-and-so, or, hey, chime in with who's your favorite pizza in town. Do something because you want people to share your post or forward your post to other people, and they're not going to share them unless it provided them some piece of value, right? If they got value from it.
Right, like taking your pizza idea and supporting a local pizza business and going, for Pizza Day, we are working with this local business. We're bringing in pizza for the office, kudos. This is our favorite. What's your favorite slice? And then they would feel the need to share it on their social media that for Pizza Day that this pharmacy brought in their business. And,
We probably ought to reflect on our little monthly. We do a little monthly thing that says each day the kind of stuff we should do. And we probably ought to look at that to try to figure out some ideas for adding value, right? Not just saying, hey, it's pieces. We're really thinking about, hey, are we doing things that add value? Because you're right. Now with AI, you guys should be able to have the time to do stuff. Now, you still need to give it the bones. You still need to be creative. ChatGPT is just kind of flushing it out.
To a degree, because, I mean, it's, you look at in our day, we didn't have the internet. So we're doing research on encyclopedia, going to the library, or like if you had a friend who that was the house with the encyclopedias, you're like, that's awesome.
You know what I heard when you said, go ahead.
Yes, our day. Yeah. Yes. Now I'm slightly aging myself here.
I know, but what I heard when you said that is I heard remember the little sound the modem made when it connected? We need to interject that into the podcast right here when you said that.
But see, even when I hit school, internet was not an option for doing research.
Right.
You bought the disc that had the encyclopedia on it. That was the first. So you remember it too.
Yeah.
Yep. And now
I can tell you my stages of research development over the years. It's 4.
All right, give it to him. Tell us your 4.
Yeah, what are your 4?
We used to do it the hard way by reading. Then there was search engines. Then I discovered Control F. That was a game changer for me. Now Chatbot.
Yep. And Chatbot is search and answer now.
Yeah, and so now kids...
And Bing's, you talk about creative. Bing's is the only one I've seen that gives me the 3 options for, I can set it to creative, balanced, or strict.
And which one are you?
I'm using creative.
They're creative, all right.
Okay. Yeah, so, and now kids are just going to be able to go, cool, write me a paper on dinosaurs. And
it's going to be there.
And it's just going to be there. They're just going to get to, there's not going to be any reading or any writing involved. It's just going to be the creativity of, cool, I read 5 sentences, write me a paper on dinosaurs. These are my top things I'm interested in, I want to hit. Or like, hey, write a book report for me, and I'm required to put in 3 quotes from that book. And now it's like, how are teachers going to gauge that? Because like, I think when I was in college, the thing was buying your papers on the internet became a thing.
Yep.
So I'm going to give somebody out there who wants to do Etsy a great idea. Okay. So one of the big things now is using all these tools and building a t-shirt. I think our digital marketing manager was talking about how he did a t-shirt to sell for his daughter. She's into music. But imagine a t-shirt where the t-shirt says creative, balanced, or strict, and has one of those highlighted. You sell 3 different shirts, and you get to choose which one you order, and that plays off of the Bing.
That's going to be Jackson's shirt.
Yeah. You could have
That's great. I love it.
That'll be Jackson's
shirt. And you highlight the one that it is, right?
Well,
you can buy 3 possible shirts, which one you are.
You do like a Justice League
creative, balanced, or strict.
On the front, and then on the back it says...
Which one are you? Creative, balanced, or strict? Definitely not balanced.
I've got pretty good balance. I'm all over the place, but
kids
super
would say
creative.
You're strict, I think.
My kids would say I'm strict. Yep. There's nothing wrong with being strict with kids. So.
Do you have kids? Do you have family, kids, any of those kind of things?
No.
Dog?
No dog either.
No dog?
His pharmacy is his baby.
His pharmacy is his baby. He's got his team.
His pharmacy is his baby.
If I knew how to get through the puppy stage, I'd get one, but I'm just gone too much during the day to get through that time.
Do you get to vacation? Have you got to that stage where you feel like I could go away from the pharmacy for a week or 2?
Yeah, no. I'm actually on vacation right now.
Oh, you are?
But it's a staycation. That was kind of...
Okay.
I owed my other pharmacist some days back that I'd covered, and if I didn't give them up, she might go get another job. So I had to take a couple of days off.
Yeah. Do you get out to any? Do you go to any trade shows? Do you ever get the way to do that? Wholesaler show or something?
Been to RBC, NCPA, talked about going to Connect, thinking about maybe doing the pharmacy ownership workshop. We try to do one major thing a year and one of our more local regional.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So are you going to be at RBC this year or NCPA? What's the big one this year?
Don't know yet. Haven't decided. Thinking about skipping both this year. I don't have to renew my license until next year, so the CE is a little bit overkill.
So I'm feeling a little workaholic, kind of. I'm feeling some some separation anxiety, like I'm worried things aren't going to be okay if I'm not here. I know it, but you got to have, where do they have that mental health that, I find
you're on a mental health kick right now about. I know,
but like when I take a vacation, I come back. And so here's an interesting. I give we'll have this again. We'll cut this out if we want to.
And this is where I'm going to do the snickering like your employees are when they go meet him humble. No, so
no, they're talking about
vacation,
like
getting emails at 5 a.m. at 2 a.m. from Hawaii, and it's like, why are you not on a beach right now?
So. Innovation.
I learned to schedule my emails out.
So you're not able to innovate when you're at the bench, right? So when you're doing this, there's no creativity happening. There's no innovation going on.
So this is your week of stillness, is what you're
innovation comes from stillness.
Yes.
And whether that maybe you got some work to do around the house or something like that. And a lot of times, vacation, I come back with way more ideas than my staff probably wants me to. I called you my staff. That's weird. Team. So I don't know. My encouragement is to find some stillness, make sure you're getting it. And not only are some of those conferences important, and one of the things that Catalyst Connect is important for is just the connections, the people that you connect to who are going to give you ideas and stimulate you, and that you're going to come back and introduce, and the things that you're going to share. It's a priceless thing. So you figure out how to do that.
Same as you, I usually come back with more ideas than my staff
is ready for.
Yeah, but you got to have 10. In general, you got to have 10 ideas for one to be a home run. Mm-hmm. And where are you generating those 10 ideas?
Yeah.
Again, let's go back to how flexible my staff is being, what good sports they are. That lets me try 10, 20 ideas to get one good one out of them.
So that's when you bring in the donuts and the coffee and you're like, I have an idea.
All right.
Exactly.
So we've been to church. I've preached. Let's back off of church. What's the next thing? So what's the next idea? What's the next?
You got MedSync going.
What are we working on?
Conquered COVID vaccines and testing, and you've flipped the pharmacy. What is next for Jackson Justus?
Oh yeah,
that is
said his name. I like it.
Fantastic question that I'm currently working on myself. As far as a goal at the moment, I don't have one. I don't know what the next major thing is. What I'm currently occupied with is so part of my series of unfortunate events I didn't get to yet was we had a car drive through the front of our store. But I finally got a contractor. They're going to get started this month. So we're trying to get the store.
So we're not going to turn it into a drive-through after all?
Nah.
Well, you needed those big concrete posts in the front. So
I'll pitch that at the next city council meeting.
Oh, they not let you do that? You can't just do it on your own?
I can't do it on my own. I don't know what their stance on it would have been, but
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense depending on what you are, that there's certain areas that have like building code requirements, like the Woodlands, McDonald's isn't allowed to look like McDonald's.
Yeah, those big old round concrete things in front of Target, those aren't decorations. Those are for grandma hitting the wrong foot pedal.
We're on the town square, so we have the city ordinances to follow, and all the sidewalk is theirs, but I'm expected to keep it clean and maintain it.
I gotcha. Well, what you need to do is put the little post that look like a horse hitch.
No, I was gonna say put out some big planters.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like in New York,
full of concrete, and then the inside of them make
large concrete planters with pretty flowers.
Well, I can't wait to hear about your next endeavors when we cross paths again in person.
Yeah.
So
horrible that you didn't remember him.
Do you know how many people walk by and it's just like
I'm sure I met him too.
After this, then I'm gonna recognize him when I see
him on the
trade show
I don't
floor.
know how he ended up on the podcast. We probably met him and said, "Hey, we want him on the podcast."
Because he won Flip the Pharmacy.
Oh, I liked my story better. It was kind of a recovery.
Well, I mean, we also find instances where it's like something remarkable, like you won Flip the Pharmacy, and it's like, hey, we need to have this guy on the podcast, or somebody mentioned you in passing and something awesome you did, and so. Yeah, this is how.
So, Jackson Justus, we've enjoyed our time with you today. So, congratulations on your success and taking on the store and winning the staff over and starting new
Flip
programs.
The Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Let's just cut out the win the staff over and the humble part. That way I can survive the rest of the year at work.
No, that's gold. That is gold.
That is gold. That's good.
That's what makes it so awesome, because like people listen to the show and they're like, oh my God, I'm laughing so hard. And then especially like we've actually been to a pharmacy where they're like, hey, we saw your face on the thing. And they were like so excited to see their leader or their pharmacist on the screen that day.
Their leader.
Their leader.
Jackson. I was like, hey, if they put my face on here, you guys are going to have to look at it every day.
Jackson. So today they have to call you our leader.
No, I think that what would make it.
They're going to watch the podcast. They're going to be, hello, leader.
Well, no, I think what would make it awesome is if we were able to kind of put your image and your name, Jackson Justus, with like a Justus League background.
Oh, yeah.
And if we could get their pictures and we could put their faces on some of the bodies.
Oh, yeah. They'd be all she did it. You have a Justus League. Yeah. Just with a US. Yeah, that'd be fun. So sometime like 5-6 years, some of your anniversary, right? Have somebody paint a little thing with everybody a superhero.
Somebody on his staff's going to listen to this episode.
That'd be the Justus League.
They're going to get on Photoshop or they're going to get on Dolly and they're going to upload and make it all happen. And you're just going to get a birthday card or a boss's day card. That's going to be from your Justus League.
They all already have avatars of their own.
Nice.
I've assigned them each an avatar, and I find it's pretty funny.
So many layers to you, Justus. He's got giving people avatars.
Got layers. Let him talk about the avatars.
Okay, go ahead with avatars.
So this year, instead of like training or emails or whatever, I turned it into a game.
Okay.
So I give them updated name badges, their years of services, their label, and I turned it all into like this game. And I give them tokens as the year goes on for things they do, something they ace, just going above and beyond. And then there's just like, once you accumulate this many as a team, there's, they can negotiate a reward with me at each level.
Interesting.
So we do that to play. And like, part of the fun for me was giving them their avatars. So like my one girl who is very detailed, her avatar is scribe with a codex, and her skill is a daughter of I's and crosser of T's.
Interesting.
I love it.
So they all got these little personalized avatars and name badges for the year. And again, it's part of that building that teamwork environment thing. So it's a little dorky and a little cheesy, but I've got some dorks and some losers on the team.
It's not easy being cheesy.
I knew it. I knew I didn't have to do it. I knew that was coming.
I beat you to it.
It's not easy being cheesy. I know I paused because I said I'm gonna pause. If you're coming up, you're gonna be out there with it. All right. We are out of time. It was a pleasure. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Enjoy your day. I hope it doesn't rain. And
enjoy your staycation.
We'll see you at the next place you decide to get out to.
Yeah.
See you later, Jackson.
That's good.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you get your podcast.
Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts to help us reach more pharmacy professionals like you.